Now, the legal profession, like many other professions, has been hit hard by the recession. But what this means is that many lawyers are now looking to the courts, particularly the criminal courts, for work. But some of them are breaking the rules and are touting for clients on the courtroom steps. Well, the situation has reached a point where the Law Society has gone involved, and I'm joined now by Ken Murphy, Director General of the Law Society. Ken, thank you very much indeed for coming out to us this morning. First of all, can we look at the actual problem? I mean, obviously an awful lot of solicitors who would have been involved in conveyancing and house sales, they're coming down to the criminal courts now to look for work.
Yes.
What's actually happening? There's
always been competition for this kind of work, and it's quite proper that there should be, but it has to operate within rules that protect the public. The reality, the grim reality for the solicitor profession over the last 5 years or so, like so many others in the country, is a collapse of work and a collapse of income resulting from that. One of the consequences of it is more people are looking to where there is some form of work, and there's been a reduction of nearly 40% in the amount of state payments for individual cases in criminal legal aid, but still solicitors are looking for that work. And that's perfectly right, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. The difficulty is, and we've received complaints in the society, that individuals, often vulnerable people, approaching courthouses without a solicitor are being approached in contravention of rules about direct unsolicited approaches and in the vicinities of courthouses and prisons and Garda stations, but particularly looking at courthouses here. And this is a breach of the rules. The difficulty is detecting the evidence for the society to act on that kind of thing, because often it would require the individual accused person to come forward and to make a complaint and so on, and they're naturally disinclined to do that. But
if they even know that something wrong has been done.
That's true, because a lot of these people, these individuals, these accused people are approaching courthouses. Some of them don't have English as their first language. They don't understand the rules, and they're being almost descended on by people who are looking to be instructed by them. Now, there are other ways in which people can be instructed and can choose a solicitor. There is a panel of criminal legal aid practitioners. So we want to make information about who the people on that panel are more easily accessible, more readily available. We've been in contact with the court service, with the judiciary, with the Gardaí. We anticipate that we'll be able to put notices up in courthouses to explain to people that direct, but also to let them know that direct unsolicited approaches, or to use the legalese, are actually are prohibited.
I see this. I mean, this is the review document that the Law Society did on it recently.
The Society has produced a report last month.
You've come up with a notice. You want to display that notice, just to show that it's got to a point where you actually have to put these kinds of notices up, saying if you're looking for a solicitor, do this.
The public need to know what's within the rules and what's without the rules, and this is an example of it. But we're working in cooperation with the court service, with the Gardaí. The judiciary are concerned about this also, and we do want people to know that if they're being approached in this way, that is not appropriate. And this is something which is not unique to Ireland. In the course of the review, we were in touch with the European criminal law practitioners right across Europe. Rules like this exist everywhere. It's considered inappropriate for people to be pestered, really, as they approach courthouses by people looking for their instructions.
Ken, another element is, I know from reading this report, people say that, you know, when kind of ingenues come into court, that maybe their first time in court, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
I mean, that is very easy for solicitors to detect people who don't have representation.
Yes, they often look. There are some people who are more regular attenders at the court who aren't lost or bewildered. Yeah.
But Ken, another aspect here is that people actually in the prisons are. Well, it's hard to say. Again, the proof isn't there, but what anecdotally I am hearing is that solicitors are trying to persuade clients to switch to other solicitors.
Well, again, it is reported to us that it's happening increasingly frequently, that somebody is sent, perhaps with a solicitor, is sent on remand, that's they're placed in prison pending their next court appearance, but then unaccountably they decide to change solicitors. And there's a lot of suspicion that there is improper pressure or inducements being made to individuals to change solicitors in those circumstances as well. And again, that is questionable as to why and how that should be happening.
They're probably using their clients to get other potential clients to switch rather than...
Potentially that may be so, yes.
Which seems an extraordinary way for professionals to behave.
It is, and I want to emphasise that this is the activity of a very small minority of the profession. And the fact that ethical practitioners have came forward, raised an issue at the Society's AGM last November about it, and their complaint is about a small minority. But we want to make it much more difficult for this minority to behave in that way.
OK, well listen, Ken Murphy, thank you very much indeed
you.
for coming into us this morning.